This is the centre of our farm, but since we moved here, it hasn't worked like it used to. Security matters, Daddy says. It must have been Lapo, the dummy. There's little wonder why everyone thinks there's more than friendship between us. I was afraid of animals when I was little. I never approached them alone. The box is empty. The telegraph would have been installed nearby. This is an unnerving place. I had never been here when I was little. Nanny kept me well away from it. What is this place? This never used to be here. Another entrance, maybe?
Los, schnappen wir uns diese Bastarde! Los!
the soldiers doing? It's dangerous, I know, but I want to follow them and see what's happening.
Verdammt!
Oh God, please no. Lapo, my dear friend. What have they done to you? Your handkerchief was the symbol of what you believed in. At least that is left of you. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone and I cannot reconcile myself.
Du hast ein Mädchen erschossen, du Idiot.
Scheiße, scheiße, scheiße! Was machen wir jetzt? Sieh mal, was sie um ihren Hals hat. Sie ist eine von ihnen. Es musste getan werden.
Sie ist die Tochter von General Erich K., du verdammter Trottel. Sie war die Freundin von diesem armen Kerl. Oh, verdammt, jetzt sind wir wirklich am Arsch.
Scheiße, lass uns abhauen. Aber sie lebt noch.
Sie liegt im Sterben. Siehst du, wo du sie getroffen hast? Sie ist bestimmt schon tot. Wir müssen jetzt abhauen, sonst sind wir auch bald tot.
I'm dying, I thought, but strangely enough, I wasn't afraid. In fact, I was almost relieved. When I returned, I found myself once again in the midst of a bad dream. One whose meaning I did not understand at the time. I give you back your appearance. 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 Now I see with my eyes. 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 Now I see.
Two sisters were destined to die. Julia, the first sister, and Martha, the second. On Julia's day of departing, identical twins stood before me, impossible to tell apart. They questioned my presence, since they were still so young. Julia must come with me, I demanded, but they both claimed to be Martha. I explained that Martha's fate was soon to be the same, and their games were useless. I didn't have time for it. The war was keeping me busy. But they didn't concede, and instead kept insisting. Can we follow you together? No, impossible. Are you sure Martha will die too? Nothing is certain in wartime. What if the wrong person went with you? Then you would have cheated death. One would die unjustly, and the other would simply be delaying her fate. They discussed amongst themselves, then hugged before one of them came forward. She stared in a determined, almost threatening manner. I guessed it was Martha sacrificing herself, giving more time to her sister. But I stayed silent, not to reveal their failed deception. No one lies to the face of their own death, so I asked how their choice was reached. We drew lots by throwing a medallion, she said quietly. They had trusted in fate. Oh, how naive they were. They knew fate plays by its own rules, which is true, but it is also my ally. Fate never would have allowed the wrong girl to follow me. In that case, my work was done. She must have been Julia. However, little to my knowledge at the time, that blasted medallion had the same name engraved on both sides, Martha's. So, my first assumption was correct. They were too damn smart, and had fooled both fate and me. One thing is for sure. I'll put things back where they belong. I will correct my ignorance and give fate back its blindfold.
Damn, this hurts so bad. I can hardly breathe. I would like to spend a moment with my sister, just me and her alone, before people arrive for the funeral and then take her away. No, 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 my bag is not here. My diary. Lapo's letter.
How is she? How is my daughter? Please, Doctor. Please give me good news.
It's a miracle she's alive, Eric, but she will be all right. The bullet passed right by her heart and exited her chest. Unbelievably, it missed her lungs, spine, and heart. She could have been paralyzed or died. But thankfully, she's fine. I examined her thoroughly. She didn't even lose that much blood. She was lucky. And you were lucky, so to speak.
She was lucky that my wife went for a walk in the woods. Otherwise,
She would have bled to death, yes.
I don't know what to say. All of this, it's too much. So much death and suffering. Nothing more.
Don't worry, Eric. She's young, so she'll recover quickly. I'll be here all day anyway.
Thank you, Doctor, for everything. Do you mind coming with me to pick my wife up from the cemetery? The funeral will start soon in the chapel.
Of course not. Lead the way.
You know, with all of these preparations for the funeral, Irina wants everything to be perfect. It's her way of coping, so she doesn't have to think about everything going on. She is a woman who has suffered so much. Maybe too much.
It's me with the nanny. Or maybe it was Martha. No one can remember. There's my bag. Thank God. Let's hope Lapo's letter is in there. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone, and I cannot reconcile myself to that fact. I have to stay hidden, and sadly I can't run to you. Even if I would love nothing more than to hold you tight and cry together. No words. I just want to be close to you. Can we meet in the barn tonight? I will try my best to be there around midnight. Don't be alarmed, but if things get ugly, please remember this number, 6934. He knew he was in serious danger, but what about the letter? I had it in my hand when the soldiers ran off. Mummy found me, and if she's read it, well, she hates Lapo, and now she must know who I am. No, she probably would have left me there to die. She'd rather have no daughter than the wrong one. Before I passed out, I must have put it back in my bag. There is no other explanation. I have to see beyond appearances. There are those who betray me and speak ill of me, but someone will know how to give me the right advice. July 19th. I retrieved the cameras at the lake, but I had convinced myself that I was the one who had hurt Martha. So much so that when I had the rolls with me on the way home, I found myself in another horrible dream. I don't even remember going to sleep. As soon as I woke up, I developed the film. The photos confirmed to me that my memory of that night was correct. It was a great relief. I have decided to go back to the lake in an attempt to communicate with the White Lady. I know it's a crazy thought, but I can't get it out of my head. I need to know what happened to Martha, so I must pursue every possible avenue, even the path of insanity.
Violence against citizens continues in La Romola, and once again General K's family has come under fire. Now it is the life of her sister, Martha, that is in danger.
When it's not too sunny outside, the 200 ISO film works well.
It is only by the grace of God that the girl is alive. The anti-fascist political motive appears to be the only reason behind the cowardly act. The New Zealand troops are advancing.
General Edict K. New rules on...
On the 18th, they are still far from the Tavernelli Val di Pisa. The German resistance on the Tuscan hills has been exhausting for the invaders.
Attempted murder in La Romola. After the murder of Julia K., today her twin sister is the victim of another attempted murder. The condition of the young girl, found by the German troops, is no cause for concern. The political motive behind this is becoming all the more clear. But that's not what happened. It's all wrong. Mummy was the one who found me. The German soldiers shot me. Best to stay quiet. No one ever believes the truth. New ordinance ban on the use of bicycles. Over the last few days, cyclists have once again shot at members of the Italian armed forces and at civilians in the streets. The offenders will be punished in accordance with German martial law. Even in Florence, the war is beginning to be felt. Supplies are starting to run out. Bread may only last a few more days. Prices are rising dramatically. Meat can now be found for 100 to 140 lira per kilo. The gas has been cut and there is no coal. The Battle of Tuscany. German operations in the Livorno area. Extremely violent fighting in the streets of the city. I should pick up the phone but remain silent. If I let the caller speak first, I'll find out who it is.
Hello? Mum? Can you hear me? Is there somebody there? Mr. Eric?
It's the nanny. I can confide in her. Nanny? Hello, it's me.
What? Hello? Oh my lord. I must be dreaming or something.
No, Nanny, you're not dreaming. It's really me, it's Julia.
Oh my God. Julia. My little sparrow. How wonderful. Sorry, but I thought you were dead. I saw you lying there dead. This brings me so much joy that... Actually, you must explain to me, my little sparrow. What is happening?
I told Nanny everything that had happened. She was sad for Martha, of course, but very happy at the same time. I was the one she had a special bond with. I explained to her that I wanted to try and meet the White Lady, even if I knew it was a silly idea. But she didn't think I was a fool, quite the opposite. She explained to me what I should do in an attempt to meet her. It was complicated. I noted everything down carefully in my diary. Who knows, maybe she did it only to keep me occupied, while deciding what to do with me and who to warn. I won't ever know, though, because that very same day, a bomb struck the villa and she died. They all died. We should have been in that house ourselves, but instead... Poor Nanny. Bye, Nanny. I love you.
Goodbye, my darling. I thought I'd lost you. Be careful, my little sparrow.
What am I going to ask at the town hall?
Cabanari headquarters for the officers of San Casciano. How can I help?
Hi, I was hoping to hear whether there has been any development on the investigation into the murder of Julia Kay.
Wait a moment, please. Who's calling?
I am Irene Kay, Julia Kay's mother.
Mrs. Kay, forgive me. I didn't recognise your voice. Unfortunately, I don't have any real news. We are following up on some suspects. We assume we're with the boy who was killed in the woods outside your house. They seem to be planning something else. But your husband is probably the best person to ask about that.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, madam.
Now I know what must be done to meet the lady. Nanny has explained everything to me. I must try to meet her early in the morning when it is foggy, or all will have been in vain. That's what the legend says. This is what I need to do. 1. I must re-invoke her loss by putting her into contact with her lover. To do this, Nanny said to look for his grave in the woods, but there are so many. Daddy always said that infrared photos can see what the naked eye cannot. Maybe then they also see ghosts. There wouldn't be anything strange about that now, considering I'm trying to contact one after all. How crazy. 2. A part of me needs to enter her world. A lock of hair would work, so I'll need scissors to cut some off. 3. I will need an object that connects her world to mine. I don't know what to do for this yet. Hopefully something will come to mind when I least expect it. 4. To communicate with her, I will need to use my tarot cards. I will meet with the lady on the island where her lover was executed. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you in...
You've called this number. Damn, Lapo must be dead then. Rest in peace, fair comrade.
Yes, Lapo is dead. I am
No, don't talk. We don't need to know who you are. By calling this number, it means Lapo wanted you to complete his work. A telephone cable near the house of German General Erich Kay has to be cut. One goes to the house, but there's another cable we suspect is connected to a secret base. That is the one that has to be cut. If you see any German vehicles around, let us know immediately. We won't use this number anymore. It's dangerous. Use a telegraph. That will be safer. I hope you know how to use them. Otherwise, you'll have to come up with something. This is important. Frequency X. Before the message, telegraph, town on fire to identify yourself. Long live the homeland. Long live the liberation.
Should I sabotage the cable and become a spy? I don't know. My father is German. It would be like betraying him even though he himself hates this war. But what happened to Lapo and those guys? If I can save someone's life, maybe I should try. Or maybe I can talk to Daddy about it. He may be able to advise me on what to do. Don't even know the first thing about all this. What were you thinking, Lapo? I decided to tell my father everything. I loved him very much, so I couldn't do such a thing in secret. I didn't understand anything about these things. I would have acted without knowing what I was doing. Daddy told me to agree to their requests and report everything back to him. He implored me not to get myself into any trouble, like all fathers do. To cut the cable, I will need sharp scissors. Tailor scissors should be fine. Martha was taken to the chapel for her funeral. I want to say goodbye to her alone before everyone arrives.